Hey guys, Robbie. I got a special guest here to say something.
Greetings, this is Wonder Woman. You are watching Pros versus Noobs.
Actually, Wendy, that's supposed to be Pro teaches noobs. I know you like you like to do fighting and everything, but not everything's always.
And today, this is Azula from Avatar The Last Airbender. We're going to teach you how pros do things. They do it better than their brother. They're about to celebrate becoming an only child.
Yeah, I hear you say that a lot, Azula.
Yeah, noobs are just twerps and they all need to go to bed. They sure are. I can't stand a noob. You know who's a noob? Billy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I can't stand that guy. But he is my best friend, so whatever.
Oh, way to go, Mandy. So, yeah. What they said. Welcome to Pro Teaches Noobs. Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teacher Noob. Today with me, Jared.
How you doing?
And today we're continuing Marvel coverage with Doomquest. We have a couple of issues and basically a trilogy of stories of Iron Man versus Doctor Doom. And when you really think about it, those do work.
They do actually, and they kind of play off this in the infamous Iron Man series.
I know, which I think played a bit off of this. When you really think about it, Doom is more parallel to Tony than he is to Reed.
To a certain degree, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in many regards. Like one actually, I mean, yes, Reed has a corporation, but he doesn't run it. He's not business savvy enough for that. He makes back and hires people to actually handle the business, whereas Tony is both a genius and tech and business savvy. Just like and Doom is too. Yeah, this involves Doom and Iron Man and Camelot. Camelot.
Oh,
Camelot.
wow.
It's only a model. Shh. I had to reference that. Now, the 149 and 249s are just setup stuff. So these ones we can breeze through.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, and this was actually some of John Romita Jr.'s earliest comic work.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. See right there? With Bob Layton as finishing. But it opens up with a terrorist strike and everything. Just a standard opening. As Tony is thinking back to about how he's been currently dating Beth Bethany Cabe and everything. And yeah, again, just stuff here, Tony dealing with his business stuff. And you know, it's so interesting when people really think about that. By this point, Iron Man by this point was a high B at worst. A high B character. You forget that he was rarely ever the big name he was until RDJ.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't low tier. But I would definitely say Cap was above Tony.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I think Thor and Tony were neck and neck, with Thor maybe eking out past Tony a little bit.
Yeah, because I heard that like one of the issues that Marvel had was constantly convincing people Iron Man was not a robot.
Yeah, or things like that. But now by this point, also, no one knows Tony is Iron Man. They keep thinking it's his bodyguard. That lasts a long time, actually. Oh, but then there's Doom, who grants money to this mystic to ask him for aid. And yeah, basically, he's going back to his into his castle. He basically wants to learn. He keeps on going back in time to learn from all the great mystics. That's what. And when you think about it, if you can go back in time, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what, and he's just finishing that up here now, where he just learned from this guy and gave him all of this money and gems as a reward. So now he's heading back to Latveria. Meanwhile, with Tony, he's just like, I know Doom. He'll come after the components I've stored in this warehouse, or else he'll send his lackeys. And since one of my security choppers spotted an unregistered ship just beyond the 12-mile limit with what appeared to be a disguised rocket pod on his deck, looks like I'll be facing a full-scale air attack. The only question is, when? Now, no, look at him. He's just sitting there, just like... Nope, and big action! It's so good, nice seeing this old-fashioned artwork, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like how colorful they used to be.
Yeah. Well, that's because coloring was so simplistic back then.
Mm-hmm.
But but yeah, so of course he deals with them, meets up with Rhodey as he's in Latveria, but of course they're stuck. We have been expecting you, Latverian soldiers. If these men are here on Doom's orders, I'm as good as buried. There's no way I can get into my armor before they cut me to. Good morgen, mine I am General Craig. Welcome to Latveria. I believe you will find these papers to be of use during your visit to our fair country. They are directions how to reach the castle of our deposed monarch, Victor Doom. I don't understand. Now think about that. Look at that. He's basically, remember, because they don't know he's Iron Man, and he can't run off the chains. I like that.
Yeah.
It's like, but Tony being a high-ranked stuff, he's more likely to be in a situation that, say, Peter is.
Yeah.
Can we agree to that? Like, he's one of those who's a big enough worldwide name that he can be put in a situation where he's like, ah, crap.
That makes sense.
Yep. But yeah, so he's been this for you. He's placed the royal guard at your disposal. You would like an escort at Doom's castle? No thanks, General. I think I can find it on myself. And anyway, I'll need the time alone to change into my armor and to slow my pulse rate back down to normal. But yeah, so he heads up there to meet up with, the deal was Doom. Fights through some of the mechs, and then, what do you want, errand boy? He knew I was here, but how? No, can't let him throw me off guard. You know what I want, Doom. I want what you stole. There has been no theft. Payment was accepted. Those components belong to me. Not so. Doom International law prohibits the sale of potentially dangerous commodities to any power that might pose a threat to global peace. With your track record of violence and domination, you could well be the greatest threat this earth has ever. Enough! I do not debate with lackeys. If your employer has a complaint, let him submit it through proper channels. And now, go while you can. I'm not moving an inch, Doom, not until I've got what I came for. So be it. I offered you my patience, and you've taken it all. If you still refuse to leave this castle, then you shall die here. Again, I love Doom.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a great villain, isn't he? Just look how he is. He's like, he is a gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
When written well.
Yeah.
One of the things that I would definitely strongly disagree with Mark Waid on, more than any Superman view, is how he feels Doom is a monster.
He's not a monster.
Unfortunately, now, granted, early Doom kind of was.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like what Morrison and Magneto, where both of them ignore the character growth and just focus on their initial introductions.
True.
Although, you know, one thing I always liked about Stan Lee said about Doom is that he just wants to take over the world. There's no crime in wanting to take over the world.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a crime in how you do and actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no crime in wanting to take over the world.
So technically, he's not a criminal.
No, he is, given when he acts upon it.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not like you can't just go up to a cop and say, officer, we want to take over the world. They can't do anything about it.
The officer will probably say, so do I.
Or he'll probably be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the two of them keep on fighting it off. And yes, this is real Doom. This is not a Doom bot or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You should not have done that, errand boy. I was going to make your death a swift one. But now I shall boil your blood. You shall bubble and burst within your metal carcass like a badly poached egg. You're forgetting one thing, Doom. Eggs don't fight back. And neither shall you, braggart, once I've crushed your bones into marrow-splattered pulp. Headbutting like this could get me thrown out of most wrestling bouts. But I'm not fighting for trophies here. I'm fighting for my life, and wait, Doom is sending electricity through his armor and into mine, trying to fry me. Gotta match him both for again. You see all this stuff you write? They are a perfect match.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree? Like, look at it, just suit to suit, mind to mind.
Mm-hmm.
But then one of his men sends him back in time, and we don't know where it at first. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a classic cover. Come on.
Yeah. I've seen that in so many places.
Yep, and it's a double size, 150th issue. See what this? The hardcover they had just had the 4 issues: 149, 150, 249, 250. Think about that. And these were the premiere hardcovers.
Yeah.
That usually takes like 6 issues, 6 to 7 issues. So think about that. We have enough for that in these books.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at that art. Now that's time travel.
Yeah, that definitely is.
All right, where are we? The machinery must have exploded, cast us into the courtyard. But before that interruption, I was making good on my promise. To hang your head in my trophy room. Then come on and hold it. I think we have come further than your courtyard, Doom. Look, Camelot. It's only a model. I gotta say it again. Yes, I recall now. We are standing upon my time cube, and we fought Dr. Hyptenman that was perched near the controls. That sniggering weasel must have sought revenge for my killing his brother in Fantastic Four 85, and by attempting to lose me in time. Camelot. But things may yet work out. I've been trying to reach this era. That's why the time cube controls were preset for this particular age, perhaps. Now wait a minute. If we're here in the past, and if whatever sent us here is still in 1981, how in blazes are we going to get back? An interesting conundrum, lackey, but at present, not my primary concern. Stand to, knights. You trespass in the realm of Arthur, Lord of the Round Table, whose loyal men-at-arms we be. Kneel and show and obeisance ere you be allowed to pass. Kneel, me, easy Doom. Mayhaps the cur has forgotten the workings of his joint. Sir Gareth, refresh his memory. You dare lay hands on me? Have you little regard for your life, fool? And I have even less. Whoopsie! He struck Sir Gareth. Such impudence must not go unpunished. Again, this is just an awesome start already, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't you miss all awesome books like this?
Yes, I do. Very much so.
Yeah. Oh, it's like just a sec.
This is definitely not the type of story that'd be written by Tom King. Had to.
It is you who shall suffer punishment, beggar, by channeling powers through my gauntlets into this metal lance. I shall see that you are the first man in history to experience alternating current. Stop it! And do you yield? Listen, Doom, we're strangers here, and we're not going to get any places by antagonizing the locals. So just we call it truce and go along with these people. At least until we find out what the score is. You may have a point, lackey. Very well, I agree. For now. I can stop calling me lackey. And then when you think about it also, they're armored knights.
That actually kind of works for Iron Man and Doom. Plus, Doom is kind of wearing more knightly garb than Iron Man even is, because he has the cape and like. And
it's an old-fashioned material you would have seen. Yep, but all hail and bow and hail our Lord, sovereign Lord of the Round Table and master of all men, King Arthur. Rise. You always had good cause for interrupting my kingly duties, Sir Gareth. I trust this occasion is no exception. Sire, my patrol came upon these strangers in the Hildenbrand wood. They display great magics, and we fear them to be assassins sent by the evil queen Morgana Le Fay. Aye, you've done well, Sir Gareth. My sisters and machinations are ever to be watched for. But you, whose armor takes the color of the sun, have you any answer to these accusations? Okay, this is it. Your Majesty, I'm a champion of a great ruler in a far-off land. I come to your realm looking for this man who is called Doctor Doom, with whom my master has a grievance. I seek only settlement of a peaceful return to my own country. By what are these tales of sorcery? Have you magical powers? I do possess certain abilities, sire, one which I could use for the cause of good. Observe, Using my armor circuitry to set up a reverse magnetic field should make for a harmless but effective demonstration. My throne! It rises on its own volition! And now it's resetting as gently as a puff of down. 'Tis sorcery! Black magic! Erlich, we must sacrifice an extra toe tonight! I am most impressed, Golden One, and you of the Verdun Cowl. What have you to say? I say that I will not lower myself to performing parlor tricks for the rabble, Highness, any more than you yourself would. For in my own country, I am also a king, as witness the royal seal of Latveria. I see. You pose a complex puzzle indeed, good strangers, one that will take much pondering ere a just solution can be found. Therefore, I will withdraw to my chamber. Again, they both make good points!
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're both king. One's a king and one's like a knight, so you get those. And
Latveria existed back then.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, he meets with the fair Arna. And let me check who that is. Is this an actual character? No, it is not. This is a made-up character.
Oh, so she's not part of the King Arthur lore.
I had a feeling it is, unless this was to be a take on Guinevere, which I hope not.
Yeah, because then it's like she's cheated on Arthur with so many other dudes. Then,
like Lancelot and all. Have you read Camelot 3000?
The comic? No.
Oh, you should, dude.
I should? All right, I'll check it out.
It's Brian Boland artwork.
Ah, there you go.
But yeah, he's basically wondering what to do. Like, any historian would probably kill to trade places with me. And I almost killed to let them. I never felt so alien in all my life. Believe it or not, there is a what if that Bob Layton worked on that talked about what if Tony was stuck back in time. And eventually he would take over Arthur's place.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, he's then soon and it's asking, where is Morgana? To which, of course, she feels conflicted. Like, why would he wish to see Morgana? She's evil. She's our enemy. But he's decided he's going to leave because that's what he wants. She's still one of the most powerful sorceresses. So, like all the others, he wishes to learn. Oh, look at that jetpack. Like, it would seem, Iron Man and Sir Iron Man, that my judgment has been made for me. During the night just ended, the man you call Doom made clear his true nature, having secretly stolen away from this castle and having left in his wake the corpse of one of my truest guards. Oh yeah, he killed him. And as well as a servant girl who can now do not but babble like a cradle-bound child. And that's the second time I've heard that name mentioned. Oh yeah, but Morgana Le Fay. Forgive me, sir, but history, current events aren't my forte. Could you explain this Le Fay person? And gladly. An explanation in the least. Now remember, this is the Marvel version of it. Okay, so it's still different. Yep, so we have Merlin locked away and everything, them fighting, her being imprisoned in her own castle. So now, should Morgana ally herself with this King Doom, she could possibly find the power to succeed where so often and before she failed. And this time I would face her alone. Sire, if I may, I fought Doctor Doom in my land, and if you so wish, I will fight him in this one. For you, sire, and for the justice we both serve. And Sir Iron Man, you are indeed worthy of the name Champion. So, of course, he makes his way up. And again, I love this how it's not a fight between the two, per se. It's just an adventure involving both of them that just continues to make it clear how much equal these two are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he makes his way, tosses a rock in there, and reveals, the bridge is an illusionary spell, much like the electronic illusion that protects my own castle, Latveria. And the moat appears to be filled with a liquid of extreme corrosive properties. Combined, they make for quite a formidable defense. Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, you just walk in there thinking you can just walk in there like, wow!
Mm-hmm.
That is a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that you'll forgive the intrusion, my lady. I am Doom. I know. I've watched you in my mystic mirror ever since you entered this realm, and I've learned much. First, that you are a mighty king. Second, that you are of another time, and third, that you are a strong, very strong man. But what the mirror does not tell is why you've come and what boon you seek of Morgana Le Fay. Pray, elucidate and eloquate. Lady Morgana, your beauty is exceeded only by your acumen. I shall explain, though my story is a difficult one to tell. Basically explained about how his mother was taken and held by Mephisto, and every time he's been trying to release her, but keeps on failing. So he keeps learning all these magics. And and now Morgana Le Fay, that I have found the grandest mystic of all time. I know that my victory is assured. So yeah, I am flattered, Lord Doom, so much so that I will agree to help you for a price. A price, my lady. Yes, I think we may be able to help each other, for I too have a goal in which I seek above all else, the death of King Arthur. However, since I am forbidden to leave this castle, I cannot lead my own warriors into battle. Therefore, you would have me lead them for you. But where are they? I saw no soldiers about. They are resting in a way for you. And for you see, some time ago, I purloined my brother's enchanted sword Excalibur. Before he won it back, I was able to strike a small chip from this blade. The chip acts as a link to all the souls who have fallen before Excalibur and who surely wish vengeance on that sword's wielder. It is a vengeance which, as my army, they shall have. Ooh, just look at that.
Mm-hmm.
A small sliver of Excalibur rising the dead of those who slew it. That's clever.
Mm-hmm.
Morgana Le Fay, you are a remarkable woman. Were you but a product of my own time? But enough, that bargain is made. I shall command your forces. And thus he does.
Mm-hmm.
But you, Sir Iron, will you fight at my side? I will, sire. To the death! Doom! There's no need for this. It isn't our war. There must be some other way. Diverse factors are at work here, Iron Man. Ones that you could never comprehend. They control my actions as fully as I control these legions. And because of them, there is no other way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that!
That is so dope.
And again, it's JR.
Mm-hmm.
Back when he was more traditional with his art style.
Mm-hmm. In other words, before you had like the more Superman Year One look.
Which, to be fair, that wasn't that bad. That artwork on that book wasn't that bad.
I think he gets more hate than he deserves, honestly.
Yeah, but he has some art where it's just such a mess.
You mean like the Frank Miller Wolverine Deadpool cover that everyone's talking about?
That was a Frank Miller cover. I'm talking
about. I was just saying in terms of art, that's a mess.
True. But look at that. Then why didn't I think of that before? Ugh! Good. Doom wasn't expecting a physical attack. Hopefully that'll throw him off. Bounce and long enough for me to get a head start on nailing his partner. Iron Man fleeing? I am sorely disappointed. Nonetheless, I shall let him go, for I gave my promise to Morgana, and I must keep my word. Again, he's doing all this just because he wants to learn from her to help his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. He actually makes his way to her, and for the tendrils wrapping around me, holding fast. This light and this light is solid. No, the constricting, choking. I can't break loose. I'm starting to panic. What am I? And is what I am? Calm down, man. That won't get you anywhere. But buried. Now think. How do you fight black light? Answer was white light, of course. Sure, or at least maybe. And sure enough, he does it. Dealing with our creature. Just look at this. Iron Man, tech versus magic. Like, I would see you buried, Iron Man. I would see you blacken and split in steam, and I would see you rise. Lady, if you're going to curse me, do it to my face. Oh, you make me hate you. You make me loathe beyond imagination, but I cannot counter what I cannot comprehend. So beware. do not think that you have escaped my wrath, for I shall study, I shall grow, I shall wreak horrible vengeance on both you and my brother. When I return, somehow she's able to disappear. Somehow. Like, it's true, sire. The enemy's fallen. We've won? Fools. None of us have won anything. We've been tricked. And I, worst of all, Stark's hireling did not flee in terror, but in strategy. He somehow nullified Morgana's influence, defeated her assault plan. But if he's harmed Morgana herself, render her incapable of keeping our bargain. No! What the? He brought down the entire wall. Like you heard me, lackey. Where have you taken the sorceress LaFay? I took her nowhere, Doom. She took herself away with some sort of spell. She just disappeared. I don't know where she went or when she'll be back, if ever. You are responsible for this. You alone. And I swear on my mother's grave for all this, and that's dark and powerful. I will see you dead. Someday. I don't understand. Obviously not. But that matters little. Suffice to say that it takes a wise man to know when he has failed, and a noble man to admit it. I am both. My reason for coming to this era can no longer exist. My purpose, my life lies in the future, and there is but only one way that future can be achieved. Within the microcircuitry of our armors are electronic components which may be combined to create a warp field that is strong enough to cast us back to our own time. But as much as I regret to say, I cannot do it alone. We must work together. You just want to kill me, Doom. How can I trust you? Because, Avenger, you have my word. All right, Doom. On the count of 3, we both shut down our active systems. Agreed. 1, 2, 3. Plink, tink. And thus, with that, they actually work together on all this. If Stark's underlings are this clever, he must be a genius. Outside of Reed Richards, I've never known anyone with such an intuitive grasp of electronics. Just look at that. They're working together on this. Before we go any further, Doom, I think we need to clarify a few things. Namely, this gadget. If it works, should set us down in neutral territory. So from that moment, our truce will extend for 24 hours, during which neither of us will launch any aggression against the other, either personally or indirectly. Agreed? The terms are acceptable, if not satisfactory. Let us proceed. And thus, they go back and arrive. The adventure is finished. I shall keep my word. My anger for now must be satisfied against a certain Dr. Humpman. Though I hope you do realize, Avenger, that we shall meet again. I'll be waiting. So how was that?
That was really good. I like that.
Great adventure, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
What did you like best about it?
First off, the art by JRJR is like solid in that particular big epic battles.
Yep.
And yeah, it's kind of funny. You wouldn't. This is one of those occasions with the whole argument of he can't fight Doctor Doom. He's a Fantastic Four villain. I'm like, you lose out on stories like this.
Yeah, and now granted, they made the most of what they could.
Yeah. Obviously, he's not going to become a permanent Iron Man villain, but I think that
he would have been awesome, though.
He would have been awesome as an Iron Man villain.
It's kind of like why you don't give Lex Luthor the Batman, even though he would work.
Yeah, I know. That would be kind of an interesting.
And they tried. You know that, right? The Bat Office tried. That was the whole point of No Man's Land initially.
Well, plus also he kind of was a little bit of an antagonist in the New 52 because he deduced who Batman was and blackmailed himself in the Justice League.
Yeah, but I'm talking about with No Man's Land, the Bat Office were trying to stealthily do it, and the Superman office balked at it. They're like, oh, no, you don't. Because, I don't blame the Superman office. When Batman has all these great villains. Superman, especially by that point, his Lex is one of his biggest ones. Why would you get one of your most recognized villains to the Bat Office, who already has plenty?
Yeah, because here's the thing. Superman and Wonder Woman, Superman to a lesser degree, don't have as many recognizable villains as Batman does.
Superman has more than Wonder Woman, though.
Yeah. That's why I said to a lesser degree Superman. Right,
but and it's like with giving Kingpin to Daredevil made sense.
Well, yeah, because any New York street level superhero is probably an enemy of Kingpin.
Like giving him the Daredevil more so than Spidey made sense.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like of all of Spidey's villains, you can give him that one.
Mm-hmm.
But now this is also around the point of Acts of Vengeance, which is the story where they swapped villains.
Okay.
So perfect time to do this, to take advantage of it. Okay, come on. I hate when that happens.
Marvel Unlimited, they always do that. Why is it that the big two can't get a digital comics reader to work?
Now, this is Bob Layton doing the full artwork here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, this is 100 issues since.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Doom, it just, like feels like silence. At last, something occurs in this room which interests me. He finds this weird device. Like, I'm impressed. There's an intruder in the castle. I'm impressed. Your grasp of the obvious is staggering. But sire, it could be dangerous. It is dangerous. My armor circuitry tells me that it is a source of singular, potentially godlike power. My soul tells me that power must be mine. I retire to my study. It will not be disturbed. Again, there's a reason why I would put Doom as like high up on my favorite comic villain list when he's written like this.
Yeah.
Because again, of so many of the Marvel villains, when written at his best, he is one of the best. There is no question.
Definitely is.
And I'll say this, he's better than Lex.
Yeah, to a certain degree, I do agree with you.
If they were in a fight, he would win.
Mm-hmm.
Lex would lose because Doom has too much power.
And he also has magic on his side.
Exactly. And also you gotta remember this, it's like the death battle of Tony versus Lex. Lex will put on an armor when he feels it's needed, whereas Lex and Lex does that. Tony does it because he enjoys it.
Yeah, it's fun.
And Tony has come up with way more advantages, whereas Lex is a one-trick pony. He does everything for Superman. Maybe other supers, but not as often.
That's what made the death battle of Iron Man versus Batman so good, up until the point where, like, Iron Man beats Batman, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, but I kind of get where they were going with it. It's like, I think people overplay the Bat guy, how Batman could take everyone out.
Yeah, but here's the thing. All Batman's got to do is get him out of the armor and then beat the crap out of him.
You realize that's a lot harder than you think.
EMP. I'm sure Batman has an EMP device on his belt.
And you don't think Tony doesn't have countermeasures for EMPs?
Really? Because he keeps getting EMP in the movies. That's
the movie, dude.
Just saying.
In the comics, he's had multiple ways about doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when Spider-Man gets shot by a bullet. It's lazy writing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look. JR fan club. Cute.
That's good. I like that.
But yeah. Wait. Ah!
Oh, there you go.
Did you see that?
Wait.
Let me go back. Right here.
Batman?
Get back there. Yep. That meteor was a giant pinata.
Mm-hmm.
But then that weird device shows up in front of him. It's like another one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy your shopping, folks. And remember, today's only a 10% off all purchases, courtesy of Stark Enterprise. And I should point out, by this point, they believe Iron Man is a different bodyguard in the suit. Because during the Armor Wars, that's how he ended it was. He would destroy, have it be that his bodyguard then went rogue in the Silver Centurion armor. He would die, and then he would then say, oh, but here's a new bodyguard. Of course, everyone who knows it's Tony are not happy still. They're like, you think you could pull the wool over our eyes?
Mm-hmm.
By this point, he had been shot earlier. So the armor, he can still work in the armor, but he can't run or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized, Iron Mullet! Wait. I gotta type something to someone. Hold on, just a sec.
It's kind of funny how many characters got mullets back then, like even Superman.
Right. I know. As Dan's going to say, it was just long hair. Most of the artists would say it was long hair.
Okay.
But yeah, oh, but then we have this moment here where they're studying it. They're trying to find it. Like, we are not amused. But like, what? Woo!
Oh, hello there.
Hello. But oh, but I love this though. I am Doom. Chunk.
Oh God.
Pick the woman up. See that she's made comfortable. Dr. Doom, but why here? Why now? My arm is in my briefcase. And even if my legs were 100%, I could never reach it before. Ah, a Renoir. I have 3 myself. I had 4, but I ordered 1 burned. What? You had a priceless work of art destroyed? In heaven's name, why? It displeased me. I love that. He doesn't care if it's priceless. If you don't like it,
that is so Doom.
That doesn't do. I want to know why you're here. You have something I want. A glowing cylinder your lackey, Iron Man, brought to you yesterday. Naturally, you'll expect to realize a profit. I'll pay whatever you deem fair. All I know about that object is that it's incredibly powerful, and you're powerful enough already. The answer is no. Very well. I pursued proper channels. Now, whatever transpires is on your shoulders. You have until tomorrow to reconsider. See right there? Mm-hmm. That is so gentlemanlike, isn't it? He's like, comes and makes him an offer.
That's a power move right there.
But yeah, he makes him an offer. He's like, well, you said no. I tried to do this civilly. And that is also, I think, Lex could pull when written well's the businessman.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's the problem. A lot of these characters are this way when written well.
I mean, granted, I can understand other times when he's monstrous, but here, this is him when it's like, why shouldn't he act this way?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that though, he said it's a power move. It's just like he just shows up and makes him an offer, and then it's like, very well then. I gave you an offer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we ended up skim through the rest of it. You know, big fight and everything. Doom is trying to make a move, and then they look at that. So he has the other half.
Mm-hmm.
But now he doesn't know what it's like. Nothing. Even the glow is stopped. But then it's sentient. Turns out whatever it was grabs them both and takes them through time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this now. In the year 2093.
Ooh, future.
Yep. Hey, oh, look at that again.
More time travel.
I love that. They're reusing that.
I love the way they depict time travel.
And look, it's identical.
Oh, wow.
Hold on. Let me reel the other issue. Hold on. All right, come on. I said 150. Okay, here we go. Come on. I hate the loading. There we go. See?
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at it. It's just they flip-flopped it.
That's cool.
See, look. Tumble, flip-flopped.
That is the same.
Flip-flopped. Well, sort of, opposite end. But then they're like, well, where are we? Artifact must have exploded. Cast us into the streets. Curse your soul. Your interference will cost me unlimited power. I'll hang your head in my trophy room. Then come on and hold it. I think we may have come a little bit further than the Hollywood Vine. I think we may have come farther than your courtyard. I'll have your head in my trophy. Oh my gosh!
Literally, the dialogue is the same.
The machinery must have exploded. The artifact must have exploded.
Oh my god!
It's deja vu.
That is so good.
And again, 100 issues apart. We never get something like this. You've realized that, right? This has never happened before.
Particularly that far apart.
Yeah. It might be 50 issues, but 100 issues? No. Mm-hmm. The future. And they meet up with Merlin in the year 2093. What? Just who the devil are you? Don't be naive, lackey. I love how he keeps calling him lackey. And who else could he be but Merlin, master mage and companion to kings? The Merlin takes one to know one, or takes one to know one. Hey, Doom, your mystic side has always been your perceptive and more perceptive than your human. Why do you even keep those human traits anyway? Nostalgia? You're responsible for bringing us here, but why? King Arthur spoke of you as Camelot's greatest champion, and we need a champion now. So I used trickery, that artifact, to draw you and the doc together, and a spell to bring you forward in time. But why me? I fought not for Camelot, but against her. Sorry, big guy. Those lancers lie in your own future. I'll have them now. Nah. I love how he's just like this. Merlin, he's so powerful. He's just like, nah.
Yeah.
I've never been impressed with the power of magic over technology, and that is why I use both very well. You may live. My presence and generosity. I'll bet you break hearts all the way from here to Poughkeepsie. Down. Voice activated home anti-gravity lift. At least this is something I can understand. Not like, thump. I hate magic. The king will be with you in a jiff. He's been bonding up on the latest developments before blessing you with orders. Cocktails? But yeah, all the stuff going on in the world. And then there's Arthur. Now, if you remember right, Arthur's supposed to be reborn in Camelot's greatest need. Mm-hmm. Well, he did, but yes, he was conceived on time, but his parents cared more about their career. Mm-hmm. So by the time they did have the child, he's now too young.
Oh, wow.
I love that, don't you? It's
That's great.
And of course, they're stuck in sleep. It's like, that's mom and pop over there. Got him under a snooze spell. I'll bring him around when all this is over. Probably. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you expect me to believe that this Rugrat is King Arthur? He could be anyone. What proof do you have that you made my throne fly and gave wings to the heart of one of my serving maids, Eleonora? It is my liege. I love that Tony is that humble.
Yeah, I love that. That's good.
Nowadays, Tony will be like, yeah, whatever. But no, he's like, my liege. Mm-hmm. Like words in game, and still you've not explained what this danger is. What threat could trigger so aged a prophecy? A series of platforms in the sky built for an abandoned defense strategy called Star Wars. The old Star Wars. No, the actual Ronald Reagan made Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Is at the heart of it all. The platforms were disarmed decades ago when global peace was established, but their past orbits began to decay. An organization called AS Industries volunteered to fix engines to the platform to send them away forever. But's the word. All right? There's another power at work here, a dark power. I can't peg it yet, but I know it's the reason my 40 winks were interrupted. It's the prophecy. I can understand you seeking Stark's legacy. I'm getting tired of this lackey and Stark's lackey. Getting tired of this lackey stuff. But why summon me? Because, Lord Doom, you are destined to serve an even greater role in this affair. Forgive my impotence, sire, but Victor Von Doom serves no one! He'll not escape its fate. He'll try. In my past, more than a century ago, I constructed a cube with which to traverse the temporal plane, applying current technology. The duplication of that feat should be easy. And by taking back the advanced weaponry of this age, conquest of my own era should be child's play. Dorf, look at all and Gog with the antique rocket rig. Gore, it still works. Rippin'! Anti-gravity belts seem common in this day. Much more efficient than my jetpack. Like, that's better. We did Rome. That's weird hearing Doom say that, right? Mm-hmm. We did Rome. Having Doom say, we did Rome. He stole my hot belt and dropped me to die on purpose. Like some kind of old-fashioned vid show. So, in other words, that people don't do stuff like that on purpose. They just mess with them. Mm-hmm. I trimmed my armor down a while back. A long while. I can still go into space, but I can't stay there very long. My Merlin understands. Even now, he prepares to fetch what you need. It'll take me days in a lab, maybe weeks to make the modifications. Did you say fetch? Right. I find that these raiments draw less attention than my usual rags. Sure you don't want to change too? And have Tony and Doom see me as Tony Stark? Like, I'll pass. Where are we going anyway? To a magical place. The Star Mart! They're called malls! Oh yeah, where you'll find your heart desires. This age is full of them. They're called malls. Star Mart! Radio, oh look! Radio Shack, but they cut off the K!
Probably for copyright reasons.
Copyright, yes. Frederick of... Oh boy, this is so dated because malls are not dead, but... You know, neutrons are us.
Mm-hmm. You could tell they had some fun with this.
Yep. Oh, wait. Oh, no, wait. It's radio. No, yeah, it's still radio. Wait. Ah! They got away with that because it's so far in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah, so they're trying to figure out all this. I don't suppose you've got a neutron drive wave synthesizer, do you? We haven't carried that sort of thing in years, even for a hobbyist. But we do have Monica bars that might work even in that clunker of a transport suit you're wearing. Friendly sales folks I guess some things never change.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but that, like, how many work here? Just us. Everything's pretty much automated. Do you have a containment facility? Well, we do have an ion bombardment chamber that can be sealed if necessary. Get it, all of you. But why? Because if you don't do that for me, I'll do this to you. No crime, no war, and war has made them sheep, even more so than in my era. Ruling here would be too easy.
Mm-hmm.
But conquest is not the goal of Doctor Doom's fellow traveler in time. So yeah, he's trying to help deal with that up there. But people in that city down below are dying. It's some sort of neutron weapon, kills people without damaging property. That's got to be the danger the prophecy foretold. Oh dear. Oh, but then look at this. We got Andrew Stark. This is the descendant of Ando Stark, 2020.
Oh, okay.
So this is Iron Man 2093.
Mm-hmm.
He's the bloodline of the Stark line, and he's the blood. The Stark line will continue. There's so much he could tell me, but I gotta forget his kid. He's also a murderer and has to be stopped. So look at that fight.
That's a dope fight. I love that.
Yep. Yeah, he's putting up, and he has AS Industries, Andrew Stark Industries.
There you go.
So a nice fight going on all throughout here. He crashes down. Basically he stopped it all. Doctor Doom with advanced technology at disposal to quickly construct a modified and highly efficient time cube. Excellent. As the transfer plane passes, it will send me and these devices I'll use to develop unbeatable weaponry. All back to plane passing through, but I remain. What the devil? Merlin! Ah! It does feel like Doom's time here is pointless, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh. But it turns out his partner is a different Doom. It's an older Doom. I've come too far, been through too much to let... Although that's why he's here.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Victor Von Doom, my calculation has proved that only 34.2% of the population is necessary to run this automated society. That is why my lackeys are kidnapping the chosen one. So, wait. Yeah, this is an older Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says, a man whose body is made of pipes and tubes where color liquid swirls. So yeah, he's all robotic here.
Mm-hmm. He's more machine now than man.
And funny enough, Vader was based off Doom! Loosely!
That's cool.
Merlin, you squirrely excuse for a potion pusher? Potion pusher? That's weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What have you done to time? Hold your horsepower, Doc. You were brought here by sorcery, and because of that, sorcery is the only way you'll get back. And here's another little twist. Since you were brought forward with Iron Man, you can't go back unless he does. And I'm not leaving until the threat to Earth has been alleviated. From our previous encounter, Lackey, I have owned you in vengeance. That continues to grow. It would appear, young Arthur, that I am at your service. Your Majesty, my arm is in pretty bad shape. Aye, the darkest hour has arrived. Our only hope is the Lady of the Lake. And they bring forth Excalibur! And with it, the armor is actually, Tony's able to use the sword.
Oh, that's cool.
The sword has chosen me. This is not the way to get on my good side.
Doom is jealous.
Yeah, good luck, he couldn't lift it. Just like he can't lift Thor's hammer.
Yep.
You're like, being of royal blood, I am the obvious choice. I shall be honored to. Maybe I can help. Huh? My arm is completely restored. The sword has chosen me. Yeah, but this is not the way to get on my good side. A second. But obviously big fight and everything with the sword, takes everything down, and then since they are the same frequency I would use myself, welcome. My home, quite literally, is yours. How can this be that we can both exist in the same place at the same time? Scientific theory, it's just that. Siri, I believe whoever devised this one has never traveled through time. And is this then what I am to become? A shell kept alive by mechanics? A tin man without the dream of Oz? I do exactly what you do. Whatever is necessary. And yes, I do what I must, but I can always consider the cost, and nothing you gain could possibly be worth such loss of dignity. You, sir, are an abomination. Perhaps, but I am an abomination who shall rule this world. So, future Doom takes out all present Doom.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's fighting off that. But then, of course, I allow no chains to bind me in my time, and I'll let none hold me here. Come, I am ready for your next parlor trick. There is nothing else. That's what I had planned for Andrew Stark. I had thought it enough. How pitiful I've become. Your chair is your control, is it not? The center of which you manipulate your death machines. You are not worthy to rule. Now I know. I did the same a century ago. Get it over with. Damn! So he killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
The future is fluid. It can be changed. And by all the power in my soul, I swear I will not become that. Come on. Oh, come on.
Oh, no. Ah.
Come on, come on. So yeah, everything is starting to go. Oh, but I love this part then. I'm content, Iron Man. I did some reading while I was here. You'd be surprised at how well this culture has documented its past. In fact, there's one point in particular I'd like to discuss when we return. Mr. Stark? Dude, think about that.
Oh.
Like, what? You know? You mean they wrote, Merlin, stop! Don't! But Merlin's no dummy. Sent him back with their memories wiped.
Okay.
So he doesn't remember. But I love that fake out. Don't you?
Yeah, that's good.
I'd like to discuss when we return, Mr. Stark. You're like, oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
I missed this with Tony actually seeing his eyes through his suit like that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So how was that?
Very good. I liked how Tony's the one that can use the armor, and Doom's like, don't show me up.
Or use the sword.
Yeah, exactly.
But we got one more to go to wrap up this trilogy, Iron Man, A Legacy of Doom. If the first one was set in the past and the second one was set in the future, this one was set in the present.
I figured.
But yeah, they decided to finally wrap up the trilogy because it was always meant to be a trilogy. And when you think about it, it makes sense to be a trilogy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because again, you have past, present, of course you need future.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, you have Ron Lemon artwork. Now, basically, we see this opening bit with Tony. He is melting down some of his suits, checking through some of the data pads. And it turns out he found an old lost adventure from the past.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, we don't really need this, this opening bit. They could have just said it in the past. I don't know why they went this far to have it be said in the present, but then it's all of a flashback.
Who knows?
But I love it. Wait a minute. That can't be right. Timestamp must have glitched. I was on vacation then. Didn't use my armor for days. Better key in playback. See what? Okay, that's the view from my helmet. All right. But location data puts me in low orbit above Earth. How could I possibly be there? Holy crap. Him. Head starting to throb. Doesn't make sense. How could I forget an encounter with Victor Von Doom? Especially after what I barely survived. So now he's trying to remember all of this. All of the memories are restored. We're basically making clear they don't recall either instance.
Okay.
It was a partnership that pitted us against each other in mortal combat as I championed Arthur's cause while Doom led a legion of the damned against the king's troops. So yeah, I've often wondered why he never made good on that threat. So I should take back. He does remember that first one. But he doesn't remember the second one, obviously.
Okay.
Holy crap. Doom, the most dangerous man. Of course, repulsive rays against a holographic projection. You're wasting your energy and my time. I require your presence at my castle in Navaria. Millions of lives hang in the balance. And that was it. He was gone. After treating me like a servant, as always. I wanted to tell him exactly where the stick is, imperial attitude, but millions could be a trick, and probably was, but could I take that chance? No, and curse his blackened soul. He knew it. So yeah, he flies over there, big fight and everything. Well, stop dawdling. I'm generating a break in the energy barrier. If you finish your nap, I suggest you use it. One of these days, Doom. One of these days. Is this how you always pursue matter of urgency? I can't grasp how Tony Stark has avoided insolvency all these years, employing such inefficient help. I ran into a little delay, Doom. You might have mentioned there was a war going on. War? Oh, that. Merely another attempt by the people's government to assure that I don't return the power. The problem is being addressed. Lord Doom, the trigger for your neutron pulse engine has been completed. The problem is being addressed. Wait a minute. Neutron radiation is fatal. I'm not going to let you kill all those. Do you like your right-hand Avenger? Would you prefer to keep it? Compassion can be useful when properly manipulated, but not when it rules one judgment, and that will ever be your weakness. Oh, very well. There are still a few adjustments to be made. I'll give you 10 minutes. So he actually lets Tony do the dirty work. But he's like, you can stop them for me, or I'll kill them. Again, that is great manipulation, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 100% something Doom would do.
Yeah, basically like, okay, I'll either kill them or you stop them for me. So yeah, he stops them. Unfortunately, I do feel that given 4 issues, this is going to go on a bit long. You are quite thorough. Good. It's time to go. Go where? My Kabbalistic probes have discovered that Mephisto has found a way to hasten the end of days. In layman's term, the end of the world. I find that presumptive. Therefore, I've modified my time cube to traverse other dimensions to take us to Mephisto's realm. Seems to me like we've had a little trouble getting back the last time. No longer. Remote transmitters will signal the cube to retrieve us. This one is yours, and I'll have yours as well. Give! Scans showed the 2 bodies to be identical. Nevertheless, I scrambled them before handing one back. It wasn't much, but at least I had the collateral satisfaction of hearing Doom growl with annoyance. One question. Why me? You've proven adequate against mystic dangers in the past, and I might need some lackey work done. Lackey? Doom, has anyone ever told you you're, And that was a prickly sensation. Oh, hell. It wasn't like this. In my studies, I mean. But if these are the damn, then they are human no longer. Oh, look at us fighting through hell.
I love that. That looks really good.
Manager! Doom, over there. Move! Welcome to my world. You've gone for a different look since last I was here. Since last, I thought it'd be much amusing to redecorate in honor of my new guest. I'm impressed, Doom. Very well. A bargain is a bargain!
Oh, boy.
I didn't know what was going on. It was easy to guess who was about to be screwed. Save your efforts, Toady. Our transmitters may be the same, but they require a booster circuitry to work. A circuitry I've incorporated in my armor. And thus, at last, vengeance is mine. Don't look so puzzled, Adventure. Your situation is simple. I traded Doom that sliver of metal in exchange for help in ridding the overworld of a major force for good. That force would be you, who shall now remain in hell forever.
Jeez.
Next, what now, hero?
I love the zoom in on his eye.
It goes from determined to right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Morgana Le Fay, as always, my dear, you look utterly ravishing. But could that be a note of pique I detect in your manner? Like, pique! Pique! Release me immediately, spawn of a serpent, or I shall turn your eyeballs to blisters and burst them! You'll do nothing of the sort. I've designed that mystic cage myself. Its walls can counter any incantation you're currently capable of constructing. So I suggest you channel your irritation to more useful purposes. After all, Morgana, you did bring this upon yourself, or don't you remember the bargain you made in your spell-guarded exile in the land of Gore? I agreed to aid you in your attack on your... So basically, all this is bringing up the unresolved plot points.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you fled to an unknown dimension, taking with your most precious talisman, a shard from the blade of the enchanted sword of Excalibur. It required months of study and many journeys to the shadowed corners of existence. But at last I learned your whereabouts. Mephisto would grant you sanctuary in his fiery realm and trade for the Excalibur shard, and where you remained until I made that Dark Lord a better offer. Now he has Iron Man and I have the shard, as well as you to help cast a spell that only one with Pendragon blood can accomplish. You expect me to help you? Are you a dreamer or merely a fool? You refuse? Pity, and I suppose there's nothing to do but return you to Mephisto, so not as a guest this time, but a possession. You're evil, Doom. Truly evil. I like that. I love that.
Doom is such a badass.
Yeah. This is why, again, he would have been perfect for Tony.
Yes.
But at the time I was elsewhere. I had other problems. He's trying to get away. Mm-hmm. Impressive. Futile, but impressive. Impressive or not, this is becoming tedious, but perhaps interest could be added by making the conflict a bit more personal. Geez, he was taking the form of Howard Stark.
Oh.
There's you again, hey boy. You always were a wimp. Never had the stones to do what had to be done. I always tried to do what was right. My point exactly. See, I can make armor too. Brilliance isn't everything. You'll never reach your true potential worrying about conquest as you're weak. Nothing but a fancy boy. You're no son of mine. I'd heard it before, but the pain was still enough to distract me from the physical threat at hand. You know, I gotta say, yeah, Howard Stark was not the nice man he was in the MCU.
No, he was not. No, he wasn't the essentially Walt Disney guy.
No, he wasn't David Banner bad either, though.
No, he wasn't like a dick.
Well, no, he was a dick. He just wasn't an ass.
Okay, I'll take that.
Because let's be honest, between Howard and David Banner, David deserved to die for what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Howard, not as much, but you don't feel bad for his death.
No.
But yeah, so eating popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, no butter. Well, of course you're in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a little this feels like it's stretching things out a little.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Oh, but look at this. He fuses the armor with his, and the sword shard with his armor. I've done what you've asked. Now return me to Mephisto's keep, and as a visitor of mine, of course, I'll be delighted to send you back. Remember, my dear, you broke our previous bargain, and no one betrays Victor Von Doom with impunity. No one! What? This room, the spell-sealed chamber and gore. But I'm back in the time of Arthur, and without the sword shard to barter my escape, I've merely traded one prison for another! Doom! Again!
That is good.
Layton and Michelini know how to handle Doom, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
You're no father of mine. Didn't see that coming. You can't kill something already dead. I've been telling myself that for a long time. But at the moment, other things concern. He then takes what part of the armor that he made out of it and is using it to get himself out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Oh, and he makes his own way out. Or able to take his own way to send the, the message, to the time cube to get him out. Mm-hmm. I hate when that happens. Really?
Mm-hmm.
The proverbial bad penny returns. I'm rather amused, assumed you might. Then you know what's next, indeed. So I wager a pricely sum that you don't. You saw a new outfit and a sword? Forgive the movie cliche, but ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster, kid. No, chink! He just cut right through it! Mm-hmm. This is no ordinary weapon, lackey. It is Excalibur. Merlin made and forged through magic, making whoever wields it invincible. So come forth, Avenger. It is time to put our lingering dispute to an end. I like how they're just speeding through, right?
Yeah.
I would say, so far, I will admit, that one bit was the weakest. The hell stuff was the weakest.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like, okay, wrap it up, guys.
It was. Oh, geez, we're looking at Doom now using Excalibur because he's now merged with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be caught by surprise, thrown off balance, but I wouldn't give up. Unfortunately, neither would Doom. His attack was relentless. Like your master would never flee like a whipped cur. He'd use intellect, creativity, find a solution. But you are no Anthony Stark. Actually, I was, and hiding behind Doom's time platform mechanism was part of the very solution he'd been prattling about. For as soon as he set foot on the platform transmission matrix, I channeled my armor's full power into the machinery, and through that, into Doom. He was down, but not out. He still had Excalibur. My own energy had been reduced to emergency reserves. This time, I really had no choice. Perhaps he was wise to bolt, for even now, the Excalibur charge fused with my armor repairs the damage he inflicted. The structure of my laboratory, however, I could follow, punish the pup for his insolence, but I have other matters to consider. Or should I say, we have other matters. I know Mr. Stark sent Iron Man to check that wonky satellite, and he reported the readings it sent back, in fact, were accurate. Only problem is, that's impossible. Why? Because that would mean certain stars are starting to move. Like space itself was bulging, as if something really big was pushing stars out of the way. Oh, but look, Merlin! Mm-hmm. Whoa. Oh, that's right. We don't actually meet for a couple of 100 years. I'm Merlin. You're Merlin? Yeah, you know, King Arthur's sorcerer. Check it out. Zap! I hate magic. No sweat, bro. I'm really just a mental projection. My body's in England, snoozing till the time of her greatest need. But when Morgana Le Fay helped Doctor Doom summon Excalibur, my monitor charms went gonzo. And since you helped Camelot before, hold on, Doom said Mephisto found a way to trigger the end of days. Maybe he thinks Excalibur too. Wrong! Nothing but everyday corruption oozing from Mephisto's realm. Trust me, Doom lied, but for what reason? Who knows? All I care about is keeping him from scoring the other half of Arthur's power. The Excalibur scabbard. Remember, did you know that? The scabbard was just as powerful.
I did not know that.
The sword could cut through anything, but the scabbard made you never bleed.
Is that from actual Arthurian lore?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So basically, the sword made you, it makes you invincible. The scabbard makes you invulnerable.
Okay, that makes
sense.
sense.
And together, forget about it. But a scabbard could cut me in half. How do I stop him? Hey, I have all the answers. Look, all I can say is the scabbard lies hidden by a mystic challenge on the Ballinar Plain in Scotland. Leaking the gimmick, and the gimmick would break the rules. But you might try looking at with your brain as well as your eyes. That's it? A riddle? Why the hell are you dumping this on me? Dude, you're the chosen champion of Arthur Pendragon. If not you, who? Oh, I don't know. Thor, Captain America, United States freaking Marines? Power level, full. Nuts. By the power of dark, by the strength of my will, and through the portal of Pendragon blood, I command you, go, seek your brother, and soon you shall both belong to me. So something is coming from another dimension. But then, of course, it's Stonehenge. Why is it always Stonehenge?
No idea.
But Tony, did I mention I hate magic? But he's trying to find it. But Tony gets, there's a fight here, but then Tony gets to the scabbard first. Because there's a race there. And sure enough, he does. Give it to me quickly before. Oh, look at that.
That is so cool.
Yep.
That is the coolest Iron Man armor I have ever seen.
You've killed us. You've killed us all. What do you mean? Joining Excalibur and Excalibur was the only hope. Now even that is gone. Look to the sky, Avenger, and see what you have done. So basically, Doom was trying to help.
He could have communicated that.
This is Doom, dude.
Yeah, I know.
He wanted to be the sole person to save the day.
I know.
Last issue.
He's kind of like Lex Luthor in that way.
Well, yeah. But I gotta say, I think Lex would sooner tell the heroes than Doom would.
Yeah.
Can we agree to that?
Yeah, he would have been like, okay, I tried this. It doesn't work. Superman, please help me out.
Yep. Yeah, between the two of them, Lex is more humble in that regard. Oh, gosh!
Oh, I see you.
It's Eye Guy from Power Rangers!
Hey, Robert, I got my eye on you.
You know about Eye Guy, right?
Yeah.
I was finally remembering what had happened in those lost days. How I confidently aimed my palm blaster and palm-mounted repulsors. How they spat streams of sparkly light instead of the expected particle blast. Merging with Excalibur Scabbard changed you, Avenger. You are now, don't say it, magic. Adjust and move on. We must act quickly if we are to. This meddler is why I sought to join Excalibur and its Scabbard. Together, they might have given us a chance. But now, oh, jeez! Look at that! What is that thing?
Contest.
Yep. Why is it here? What does it want? Do you expect me to fill out a questionnaire? No, I expect you to stay out of the way while I do something. But I love it. Separate, they are useless.
They have to work together. I like that.
But also, the other thing is also, Hocus Pocus and magic is more Doom thing.
That is true.
Hocus Pocus is your thing, Doom. I don't know how. Focus. Magic is driven by will. Your mind is your greatest weapon. See what you want, imagine it, then make it happen. Damn! This is not victory. It is merely reprieve. Then talk, Doom, now. Take care, Avenger. One does not demand of Doctor Doom. Still, like it or not, we fight together, and knowledge is strength. Very well. In my ongoing quest to increase my mystical knowledge, I borrowed a certain tome from another dimension. Alas, the previous owner, the self-same horror we face now, was not pleased. Oh, so he brought this on himself! It swore to take as payment as well and all that I possess. As King of Latveria, that would include my subjects. In an effort to save my souls, I struck a bargain with Mephisto. I gave him you in exchange for the means to obtain Excalibur and its Scabbard. Together, they would provide the power to thwart this monster. But when the scabbard merged with your armor, that option was removed. And I imagined the word he was looking for was ironically Doom. But at that moment, our otherworldly adversary found his way to the top of the pit, which brought up a new question. I don't get it, Doom. Latveria is to the south. So why is this thing following the road north? And it's heading for the nearest population center, the most convenient source of food. For a short time, some years ago, I literally became emperor of the world. So that technically everything on the planet belonged to me. You mean? Yes, I fear this slavering fiend intends to harvest the souls of all my subjects, past and present, which would be every man, woman, and child on Earth. Dang!
Jeez.
I love that!
Mm-hmm.
No. Simple as that. No! They have big fight. Doom, I am whole. But once again, it appears our effort had been for naught. The creature's wound recedes. It heals itself. Then there's nothing we can do. Oh, such a pessimist you've become. Merlin! And actually, my mental projection. I'm still under a snooze spell, which seems to be getting pretty dang close. Then if wisdom is all you can offer, mage, do so now. Answer still the same, Doc. Excalibur, putting it in the scabbard is the only way to stop Mr. Icky. But how can the two be united as they are? You're not listening. You have to put the sword into the scabbard. But I'm the scabbard now. Yes, you are.
Okay.
So there it was on the table at last. The decision I knew I have to face someday. So basically, it's to stab it into him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Doom, let's get this over. He's ready to sacrifice himself for it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, but I thought magic works on belief, bucko, and I guess that lets you out. Your armor is going to remain invulnerable to everything until you will it not to be. But I don't know if I can. Science is my anchor, the one thing I can depend on. To accept magic goes against everything I trust. And trust me, acceptance is not always contrary to belief. Sometimes it is merely belief in something more. Doom was evil, but he was also a scientist, a brilliant man. Perhaps it was time to admit that someone else could be right. Time to take strength from my enemy. I closed my eyes, inhaled slowly, opened my mind to a different perspective, and for a few seconds of life I had remaining, I saw a bigger world. Do it! Shrink! Let's lose all the energy! And it's dead. I'm alive, and my armor's back to normal. There isn't even a wound. But the sword, where's it's done. It's done its work, boys. And so have you. Thanks. But now I gotta scoop back get this back to the Lady of the Lake and use what little I have power I have left to muster a couple of spells. One to make the world sink, the destruction was caused by a natural disaster. The other to make you two forget it ever happened. Wait a minute. I understand Doom coveting this power and this kind of power, going after Excalibur again if he remembered, but why me? Things can change in time. Even heroes. Why take chances? My memory dims already, but perhaps that is not the worst that could happen. The scales are balanced, and so he headed south while I turned west, and that was the last I ever thought of the incident until now. So basically, yeah, Merlin would never consider the armor making a backup.
Mm-hmm.
So what does he then do? He goes to where the Lady of the Lake is, and he builds a mall over it.
Mm-hmm.
So that it won't be disturbed for 1,000 years.
I see. That makes sense. But it also leads to the mall that from the future story.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
So how was that?
That was cool. It closed itself up a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah, great trilogy overall, right?
Yeah, and you're right. Doctor Doom could work as an Iron Man villain pretty easily.
Yeah. So, what did you think overall? Like, what was your favorite installment?
The third one, because first off, I love that I love that Stark suit that's like him with the scabbard, and I like how Stark has to say, "Okay, it's gonna have to you're gonna have to stab me in the chest with the sword."
And I have to believe in magic.
Yeah, and I have to believe in magic. So you have to kill me, and I have to believe in magic. Okay, then let's do this.
And it closes up most of the plot, the dangling plot threads.
Mm-hmm. It
like
does.
Doom's debt and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the Mephisto stuff was the boring part.
Yeah,
you needed Tony distracted for Doom to do what he was doing. I get it. And it was a 4-issue mini, but it was definitely, that was the worst part of this whole trilogy, wouldn't you say?
I would say
but
so.
But even that, it wasn't bad. Just
it took too long. That's the thing.
It basically covered a whole issue.
Yeah, I'm like, that's wasting time.
Yeah, but for fill-in, we've seen worse.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, overall, this is a classic still, isn't it?
I love it. I love it a lot.
And when you really think about it, Tony, again, dealing with Doom, you wish he was a regular Doom villain.
I honestly do, because I think that could work really well.
Exactly. And you know, there was a what if that Leighton and McLean worked on, which unfortunately I already covered, so you and I can't go over, called, it's where Doom swapped minds with Tony and then erased Tony's memories.
Yeah.
So Tony thought he was Doom, and Doom was living Tony's life. And it ended up where Doom and Tony make Stark Universal a horrible place to work. And Tony as Doom ends up becoming a great man.
Yeah.
I love at the very end, he says, and Doom is an honorable man. But yeah, but overall, I mean, what did you think about, and also what about the artwork on all three of these?
The artwork was great. I liked the art in the third one the most, but I still love the classic JR art. I just do.
What about Leighton's artwork in the second book?
I still like that. All three of them had great art. There's not
consistent.
Like one. Yeah, it was consistently good art. It wasn't like there was one where I'm like, okay, this looks stupid.
Yep. And I gotta say, I did like the whole thing about Arthur being a kid because his parents were a bunch of yuppies. But yeah, I mean, again, I miss when Tony was like this. You know what I mean? Where he wasn't the big name and everything.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
And it's just, but at the same time, though, also, you know the whole thing about Steve versus Cap? That's not new. That's gone back as far back as the Armor Wars.
Yeah.
And there's been other cases as well where Tony would tell, you know, but again, yeah, Tony and Doom, like this is the reason why I love Doom.
Yep.
He's not my favorite. He's not my favorite comic villain. That would still be Thanos.
Thanos is great. There you go.
But Doom would be up there. When he's written well, that's probably the one caveat. Although I gotta say, it's hard to say who's been botched more, Thanos or Doom.
Oh yeah.
Movie-wise, Doom has been botched more.
Movie-wise, Doom has definitely been botched more.
What did it say? What did it say when the never-released movie handled Doom better than the actually released movies?
I know, right? I know.
Now, granted, Rise of the Silver Surfer got him better.
Rise of the Silver Surfer. I still say that the Doom that they had in the early 2000s, Fantastic Four, was great. The one in Van Forstick.
The problem is it kept on, both of them were trying to follow Ultimate Fantastic Four as their basis. That was the problem. But yeah, Doom, he's just an interesting villain overall. He's like this villain that he knows what's best for the world, but his ego gets in the way.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, what would you rank this overall trilogy? I would give it a strong 9.
Yep, 9 out of 10. Solid 9 out of 10.
How does it feel seeing more Marvel works?
I'm enjoying it. A lot of the stuff I didn't know existed.
Yeah, and again, the fact, separated by 100 issues. That's 10 years.
And the way that they can like call back to it and then like wrap up all those loose ends, even like a long time apart. That's great.
Yeah, and hold on, let me check what was Iron Man 350 on. Iron Man 350 was in 98, and that was a Joe Quesada. Oh no, it was a Kurt Busiek handled issue. Never mind. And it was just a random issue. Unfortunately, it was Iron Man number 5 in the revival era. You know, the post Heroes Reborn. So unfortunately, it was at that point when they didn't care about the renumberings. At least not for a 350. Nowadays, that'd be a big deal. But back then, not so much. But I did like Quesada giving Leighton and McLean this opportunity to do what would have been their their follow-up.
Yeah.
Obviously,
exactly.
though, they gave him more room to do it with that. But I feel like I could have seen this working.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, that's all else we got to say. Thank you so much for joining me in this one, Jared. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you.
Take care. Let me in.